In this video, I will be telling you some fun facts about Pablo Picasso while turning him into an anime character. So as usual, I'm going to be starting with basic shapes, a circle, and then using other really fast and rough sketch lines to map out his eyes, nose, mouth, ear, hair, and clothes. And now that my line work is done, I am going to create a new layer underneath this layer and start coloring. What I do is I color the entire sketch except for the background, and then I open up the layer and select Alpha Lock. This allows me to color within the lines. Some fun facts you may or may not know about Pablo Picasso was he was born in Spain in 1881. He was raised there before moving to France in his adult life to work as an artist. Before the age of 50, he was one of the most well-known names in modern art. Picasso had an innate ability to produce works in a wide variety of styles, which made his work so well respected during his lifetime. As you can see, I'm using a second image of Picasso when he was older to kind of get some reference for his skin tone. And now that I have all the basic stuff done, I'm going to start putting in the shadows, highlights, and start putting in those details. Picasso is best known to be one of the founders of Cubism. Alongside George Braque, it became so well known that in 1910 to 1920, when the movement was just getting started, other spin-off movements stemmed from it, such as Futurism, Dada, and Constructivism. He's also credited with inventing the constructed sculpture and co-inventing the collage art style. He became a defining figure in the world of plastic arts, revolutionizing art for years to come. Next, I'm going to color in his hair and also add some highlights as well. Picasso was born in Malaga, Spain. His full baptized name is Pablo Diego Jose Francisco de Paula Juan Nepomuceno Maria de los Remedios Cipriano de la Santísima Trinidad Ruiz y Picasso, which followed traditional Andalusian customs that honored his past relatives and saints. His father was a painter and art professor and was impressed with his son's work from a young age. His mother claims that one of his first words was asking for a pencil, and once Picasso was 13 years old, his father reportedly vowed to give up painting, believing his son had surpassed him. And I'm going to color in his coat and just clothes in general. I am using a different brush for his coat to create a different texture, since in the reference photo it looks like a tweed coat and it has that type of texture to it, so I'm trying to emulate that. When Picasso's 7-year-old sister passed away, they moved to Barcelona, where Picasso was admitted into an advanced arts program at the age of 13. At 16, Picasso was admitted to the Royal Academy of San Fernando, the #1 art school in Madrid, now currently functioning as an art gallery and museum. However, Picasso wasn't a fan of how traditional and formal the instruction was there, so he dropped out soon after attending. Picasso's work and artistic journey is so well recorded because he became an artist at a very young age, due to the shift in his work from a childish nature to a more mature one at age 13. That's where it's stated that his artistic career properly began. While realism was very ingrained into his artwork, once introduced to symbolist influences, his work began to take on its own modernist approach. He took a trip to Paris, France, where he lived with the poet Max Jacob for a time. He was taught French and was a starving artist for a short while, burning their own works for heat at one point. Picasso's adult working life was spent in Paris, where his work has been divided into different periods that show the different themes he experimented with. From 1901 to 1904 was Picasso's Blue Period, where he would be affected by poverty and its influence on the society around him. All his works during this period were in monochromatic blues and blue-greens, one of his most popular pieces being La Vie, which depicted the inner torment of one of his late friends. 1904 to 1906 was Picasso's Rose Period, where he overcame some of his depression and found some success. This period utilized a lot of pinks and oranges and was overall far more cheery. During this period, he also met a bohemian artist named Fernande Olivier. She appeared in a multitude of paintings during this period. From 1907 to 1909 was Picasso's African influence period, where he began to experiment with the African style of depicting the human figure in painting styles derived from the works of Paul Cézanne and Paul Gauguin. Les Demoiselles d'Avignon was Picasso's first masterpiece, changing the art world and its standards forever. This in turn was a turning point as he found artistic freedom away from the traditional French influences. From 1909 to 1919 was Picasso's Cubist Period, which followed directly after he painted Les Demoiselles d'Avignon. The style that he and Georges Braque created was mainly done with muted colors and was based on them taking apart objects and breaking them up into their base shapes. With his geometric approach and techniques with color, Picasso changed art's direction with this movement alone. And then I'm going to do the background. I am using this reference image for the background. From 1919 and onwards became Picasso's period where he embraced all the styles he'd learned throughout his life. Some of his most famous works, one of the most notable ones being Guernica, were created during this period of time. Picasso passed away at the age of 91 in 1973. Throughout his long career, he created over 20,000 paintings, drawings, sculptures, ceramics, and other items such as costumes and theater sets. And now that I am done the background, I'm going to write his name and just do a little tweaking here and there. And then I'm done the final image. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Please share it with a fellow art nerd, and if you love receiving quality and free arts education, subscribe.